Part 2, Adam in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Introduction. Across the three major Abrahamic religious traditions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, Adam serves as a foundational reference point for understanding humanity, morality, and divine relationship. While the core idea of a first human is shared, interpretations differ significantly depending on theology, historical context, and cultural development. Academic study of Adam within these traditions focuses less on devotional belief and more on textual analysis, doctrinal evolution, linguistic context, and social impact. This comparative approach helps clarify how one ancient concept generated diverse religious frameworks influencing billions of people. Adam in Jewish tradition. Scriptural foundations. The primary Jewish textual source for Adam is the Torah, especially the creation passages in Genesis. Jewish scholarship historically emphasizes close textual interpretation, language nuance, and commentary traditions rather than rigid literalism. In Hebrew, Adam often functions collectively, meaning humanity. Many Jewish scholars argue this suggests an archetypal human figure rather than strictly an individual biological ancestor. Rabbinic interpretation. Rabbinic literature, developed after the Hebrew scriptures, explores Adam extensively through interpretation rather than historical reconstruction. These writings discuss ethical themes such as human responsibility, moral awareness, free will, and relationship with divine law. Jewish interpretation often focuses less on inherited guilt and more on personal accountability. Absence of original sin doctrine. Unlike later Christian theology, Judaism generally does not teach inherited sin from Adam. Human beings are viewed as possessing both constructive and destructive inclinations, but each person remains morally responsible for individual actions. This distinction significantly shaped Jewish ethical thought, legal tradition, and communal responsibility concepts. Philosophical developments. Medieval Jewish philosophers, influenced by Greek philosophy and Islamic scholarship, sometimes interpreted Adam symbolically. Discussions focused on human rational capacity, ethical development, and intellectual awakening. This philosophical reading allowed compatibility between faith and emerging scientific observation even in earlier centuries. Adam in Christian tradition. Scriptural continuity and expansion. Christianity inherited the Hebrew creation tradition primarily through the Bible. However, new theological interpretations emerge, especially regarding salvation, redemption, and human nature. Adam became central to theological discussions about why humanity requires spiritual restoration. Development of original sin. One influential contributor to Christian doctrine was Augustine of Hippo. He proposed that Adam's disobedience introduced a hereditary moral condition affecting all humanity. This doctrine shaped Western Christian theology, medieval philosophy, concepts of human imperfection, and social attitudes toward morality and responsibility. Not all Christian traditions interpret this identically. Eastern Christianity often emphasizes mortality and separation from divine harmony rather than inherited guilt. Christological comparison. Christian theology frequently contrasts Adam with Christ, presenting Adam as representing humanity's moral fall and Christ as representing restoration. Scholars analyze this framework as theological symbolism rather than historical biography. This comparison influenced centuries of religious art, literature, and ethical teaching. Modern Christian scholarship. Contemporary Christian academics increasingly engage scientific anthropology. Some adopt symbolic interpretations of Adam compatible with evolution, while others maintain historical readings. This diversity reflects broader trends in modern religious thought responding to scientific evidence. Adam in Islamic tradition. Scriptural presentation. Islamic teaching about Adam comes primarily from the Qur'an. Adam is described as the first human and also a prophet receiving divine guidance. Islamic interpretation emphasizes human dignity, capacity for learning, moral accountability, and repentance and forgiveness. Unlike some Christian doctrines, inherited sin is generally not accepted in Islamic theology. Adam as first prophet. Islamic scholars often highlight Adam's prophetic role. This positions him not only as humanity's beginning but also as the start of divine moral instruction. This concept reinforces continuity between prophets rather than a single defining fall event. Theological emphasis on mercy. Islamic scholarship frequently stresses divine mercy in relation to Adam. Repentance is central, suggesting human error is part of growth rather than permanent condemnation. This perspective shapes ethical teaching in many Muslim societies. Classical commentary tradition. Islamic intellectual history includes extensive commentary analyzing language, context, and philosophical implications. Many classical scholars warned against speculation beyond scriptural evidence, encouraging focus on ethical lessons. This methodological caution influenced Islamic theology and legal scholarship. Comparative theological themes. Human nature. Across traditions, Adam represents the question, what is human nature? Common themes include moral awareness, responsibility, intellectual capacity, and social development. Differences arise regarding inherited guilt, redemption needs, and prophetic roles. Moral responsibility. Judaism and Islam generally emphasize individual accountability. Christianity historically incorporated inherited sin concepts, though interpretations vary today. These perspectives influence legal systems, social norms, and ethical education. Relationship with the divine. Interpretations of Adam shape views about humanity's relationship with God, covenant and law in Judaism, redemption theology in Christianity, and guidance and mercy emphasis in Islam. Each reflects broader theological frameworks. Cultural and historical impact. Legal systems. Religious anthropology influenced legal traditions across the Middle East, Europe, and parts of Africa and Asia. Ideas about human dignity, justice, and responsibility often connect indirectly to Adam interpretations. Education and social identity. Origin narratives contribute to collective identity. Adam's story often functions as moral teaching framework, cultural heritage symbol, and philosophical starting point. Even secular societies reflect these influences historically. Interfaith dialogue. Modern interfaith scholarship increasingly uses Adam as a shared reference point. Comparative study encourages understanding rather than conflict by highlighting both similarities and differences. This approach is particularly important in globalized societies. Academic debates today. Key ongoing discussions include 1. Historical versus symbolic interpretation. 2. Compatibility with evolutionary science. 3. Ethical implications for modern societies. 4. Linguistic reinterpretation of ancient texts. 5. Role of tradition versus modern scholarship. These debates demonstrate continued relevance beyond purely religious contexts. Lesser-known insights. Scholars note several less commonly discussed points. Early interpretations were often more flexible than later dogmatic readings. Cultural context strongly influenced theological development. Translation choices significantly shaped doctrine. Modern scholarship often revisits older interpretations with new linguistic tools. These insights show that religious concepts evolve rather than remain static. Conclusion of Part 2. Adam's role in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam illustrates how a shared origin concept can generate distinct theological systems while maintaining core ethical concerns. Comparative study highlights both unity and diversity within Abrahamic traditions. Understanding these interpretations academically helps clarify historical development, cultural influence, an ongoing dialogue between religion, science, and philosophy. Adam remains significant not because of a single interpretation, but because the concept continues to provoke reflection on human identity, morality, and purpose across civilizations.